I'm John Robeson. I'm here in the Infield Auto Restoration Shop, and we are looking at a 1973 Maserati Indy 4.9 from the Boch Collection. This car is moving into final assembly. Body's painted, engine's done, and it's going to make its show debut this fall. Right now, I'd like to show you some details of paint that go into making a car that'll win shows at a national level. So as I move in, you see those lines there? See how they look kind of blurred? The reason they're blurred is that the paint is not smooth. The paint has a rippling over here. I think I can show that to you. See it now in the reflections on this door? So these ripples are what's called orange peel. When you put a glass of water on the counter and there are no vibrations, the water makes a perfectly flat surface because water is a single chemical compound and its surface tension is a constant. But with a complex paint like this, where you have a primer coat, often a sealer, then you have color, and you have a clear coat on top, you have these multiple layers, and they are all curing. They all have different chemical compositions, and even though they're compatible with one another, they dry at differing rates, so the surface tension is not constant, and the result is that you have this roughness, which in the industry we call orange peel. On an inexpensive vehicle, a Chevrolet, for example, the orange peel is just left. And this is what you'll see if you look on a brand new car. On a show car, people want a mirror finish, and the way we get that is by laying on a sufficient amount of color and clear that we can carefully sand it. And we can sand it, then polish it, and glaze it, and look at it, and we can keep doing that until we have a perfect mirror finish. So that when this car is done, you're going to be able to look at yourself here in the mirror, and it's going to be just like looking in the mirror in the bathroom in your home. And that represents often hundreds and hundreds of hours of work. So when you hear that a paint job on a show-winning car is so expensive, and you think, oh, I got my pickup truck painted for $5,000, well, that's why. It is all the finish work. Another thing that makes a big difference is in the colors. This car is painted in what was a metallic color for 1973. It's still a metallic color, but it is not like the metallics of today. This car was painted with a paint where the metallic particles were very fine and they were blended in with the color, and it was sprayed on in one shot. Today, your really high-end cars, a Maserati, a Ferrari, a Rolls-Royce, they will often be painted with 4, 5, and 6 layer paints where there are different metallic particles and sometimes different chemical tints in the different layers, and that creates what we see today on the modern versions of these cars, where you walk around the car and the color seems to change in the light, and you see what you believe is an incredible depth of color because of those multiple layers. And as beautiful as that is, and as much as people like it today, that is not how these cars were made originally. So as a restorer, we always, face the challenge: do we do this accurately, or do we do this like a hot rod? And most people who are restoring cars like this Maserati want an accurate finish, which is replicated just exactly as I have shown you. Other people wanting hot rods and resto mods will make different choices, and those are all things one can do in the collector car hobby. The paint on the outside of the body is just one part of this. Now, this car was painted as a bare shell, and once the shell was painted, see, the inside here was painted. This is painted with a textured paint. Prior to assembly, the engine was painted. This is an industrial crackle finish. Then here you have black on some of these aluminum parts. You have clear ceramic as a preservative coating to keep the natural aluminum. Here you've got an iron finish metal paint for the steering box, and then you'll get components like this. This is the LHM hydraulic fluid tank, and this is actually a manufactured product, and it comes to us painted. So you have all these different things that are built onto the car once we've painted the body. And we do all this assembly while the paint is curing. So it's been over a month that they've been working on assembling this car, and all that time the paint's been hardening. The longer we let it harden, the more those peaks and valleys that I showed you are going to settle out, and therefore the more durable our sanding and polishing job will be. So one of the next steps is going to be putting the interior in, and look at this. This is just beautiful, beautiful European leather. This is all handmade. There are no patterns for this. We don't go online and look for a seat kit for this car. We buy hides, and everything is made. And look at this when I squeeze it. See how thick this is? This is very, very good leather, more like fine furniture in a home than what you normally see in cars. This is much better than what Maserati used either in 1973 or today, and yet it's the correct colors and it will look exactly right in the car. So you can just see the car going together. And another thing I would point out to you is that we paint the car the way the factory painted it, but better. So the factory, for example, would wrap around these corners, but they wouldn't paint the entire center here. They wouldn't paint the entire floor, because why bother? They could save a gallon of paint or whatever in doing the job. Well, the reason for why bother is the paint is what protects the car from rusting. If somebody spills something in this car 5 years from now and it goes through the carpets, gets the floor wet, nothing's going to happen because the floor is painted. But if it was bare steel, it would be the start of rust. Back here, look at all these seams. All these seams have been sealed. There's no rust anywhere under here. This is clean metal, seam sealed. We've primed it, we've painted it, and again, you could fill the trunk of this car with water and there would be no rust, there would be no damage. And that's a huge difference between what a top-flight restoration shop will do today, and it's certainly what we're doing here, and what the factory did. It's another example of how these restorations look exactly correct to original, but they are in fact way, way better. And then there's Ray there, standing in the corner watching over, and Ray is the master of this. Ray and I are kind of the two old men of the process, watching over these things, and I think that you probably as proud to see him as me, huh, Ray?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, this is a magical thing for us to be able to do this kind of work. It's just really the greatest thing, and I think we're both very, very proud of it.
I'm very appreciative.